Herzlich willkommen bei unserem heutigen Momanda-Interview. Ich bin hier in Malibu, Los Angeles. Kelly hat uns eingeladen. Sie ist die Produzentin des Filmes Heel. Und ich freue mich sehr, hier sein zu können und habe ein paar Fragen für Sie mitgebracht, um ein paar Hintergrundinformationen für Heel euch vermitteln zu können. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for inviting me to your home here in Malibu. It's a great home you have here and great place.
Thank you.
So, did you know that Heel is on the Spiegel bestseller list on the second place?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And it's a big success for you and for us as a German publisher from this film. And we just started from the scratch, so this is right into this list,
Amazing.
right at the beginning of
High
the. And can you give us a little bit more background information? What is the intention, why you started to produce the Heel film, and what's the idea and all about it?
Sure. So I started thinking about doing the film about 10 years ago. And I think it was, a series of events over my life. There wasn't one traumatic experience that I went through that, woke me up and I had to share this. It was just kind of a lot of little events in my life. Some having to do with health, others having to do with kind of spirituality, my own exploration and seeking to understand how our thoughts affect our life and our energy and our attitude and our perception of life. So, just my own work, and then I just started to become fascinated with the capability of the human body. I'm just so fascinated by what we're capable of, and the miraculous transformations. So that really ignited my curiosity. So I started reading more and learning more, and, watching the movie The Secret. There were some things I took from that. It was one of the things that planted the seed to do a film. I grew up in film, so that's the medium that I'm the most comfortable with, and I think it's very powerful and impactful. But two of the stories in Heel that blew my mind had to do with healing. The woman who healed herself from breast cancer in 3 months by watching funny movies, and really laughter is the best medicine. And then Norman Cousins, who also taught her, watched funny movies because he learned that it anesthetized his pain. When he was laughing and happy, he wasn't feeling the pain through his terminal diagnosis. So those just planted this seed, and then I read books by Bruce Lipton's The Biology of Belief. Yeah. When I learned that we're not victims of our genes, I thought,
That's true.
Everybody needs to know this. It's so empowering to know that we have a choice, and our kind of thoughts and our beliefs affect our future and our health. So, so many different things like that. Seeing Joe Dispenza, reading his books, going to Agape, listening to Michael Bernhard Beckwith talk about, how just our infinite potential, and it's just what we believe. And I actually took a class from Michael at Agape, and he told me of this woman who healed, she needed a kidney replacement. Her kidneys were failing. And so he was teaching a class with her, and he had the whole class visualize her kidneys, working. And she's just like, no, it's not going to work. This kidney doesn't work anymore. I need a transplant. Let's just visualize me moving up to number 1 on the transplant list and getting a kidney. And Michael's like, well, if we can do that, why don't we just heal the kidney you have? And so through their visualization and practice and commitment, she didn't need the kidney transplant. And so all of those stories just really, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so empowering, and people need to know this. And now it took me about 8 years to be ready to make the film. Okay. And the last catalyst was reading Anita Morjani's book, Dying to Be Me, because it showed me what is truly possible, because she was at the end of her life. Her physical body had shut down. Her organs weren't functioning. She had no muscle mass anymore. She went into a coma. And, in her near-death experience, she had this shift in consciousness and realization and came back into her body, and her body recovered. I was like, whoa, there's always hope. So then I was ready to do this film and kind of show people what's possible, because I think it's so crazy how common things like cancer are today, especially in the U.S. Obesity and cancer and autoimmune diseases are just spreading wildfire. It's crazy. So I think it's an important message, and it was just kind of a calling in my heart.
Yeah, it is, and there's a very big benefit you give to the people. And we have a lot of people in Germany who watched the film and they said, hey, wow, now I know what's possible, and it changed my life. And they're on a new way now because they comes away from the old medicine, from the school medicine, from the drugs or whatever they need to take, and open up for spirituality.
Yes.
So what do you think is the best way if people are maybe ill or are addicted to drugs and want to choose for another way? What's the first step you think they should do, or can you give them a recommendation?
Yeah, it's different for everybody, and sometimes healing journeys, depending on how serious, or addictions, especially, they're just these patterns in the brain, and so it could be more complex. But I think the first step, what I learned in interviewing all these experts, the first step is acceptance, because a lot of times we resist, and in that resistance, we're blocking
and so much energy.
We're blocking energy,
stored,
which you need to heal
or
make a change. We're blocking possibility or answers or gifts or miracles coming in by the way of a healer or a book or the information we need. So if we're in resistance, we're blocking off all of those possibilities. And also, 99% of the people that I spoke to that have had these miraculous transformations, or perhaps didn't heal in the way they wanted to, 99% of the people, whether it's from cancer or something that they've had to transform in their life, or something that the doctors told them they could not heal, and they said, no, I'm going to do it, I'm going to find a way. They all look at their diagnosis or their condition or their illness or their struggle as the greatest gift that happened to them. So this understanding, and this is why healing to me is more spiritual than anything, understanding that any tragedy, any crisis that you go through is trusting and understanding that it's for your greatest growth.
Greatest growth, yes. And
it's almost like your soul calling in something unconsciously so that you learn the lessons you need to learn.
Okay, so this remembers me from Deepak Chopra, I think it was in the film. He said, don't believe the prognosis, how was it?
Believe the diagnosis, don't believe the prognosis.
Yes. And I think that's accept it and open up for the new things you have to learn and to come over and go that way.
Exactly.
Exactly, that's it. And what about the Heal Summit? So in America you launched the Heal Summit, and we will start with the Heal Summit also, beginning of September, end of August, beginning of September. Can you explain a little bit more about the Heal Summit?
Sure. So the Heal Summit, Hay House is a big publishing company in the United States, and they're the biggest kind of spirituality, self-help, healing. It was started by Louise Hay, who wrote the book on You Can Heal Your Life. So she's all about healing and spiritual growth and personal growth. So they released the just now, a couple weeks ago, the full-length interviews that I filmed for Heal. And the film's only a little over an hour and a half, so there's only so much information you could put in there. We have 18 hours of interviews.
Wow, 18 hours.
Like Joe Dispenza's interview, they offered for free every day because it's so good. I know you just spoke to Joe. So it's really life-transformative information, but it's for someone that, loves Heal's message but wants to take a deeper dive, because there's so much that I just couldn't put in the film. But it's great information. It was such a success here, and I know you're like the Hay House of Germany over there. So, it's going to be, it's really awesome for people to get access to that information,
Okay, great.
So
great.
yeah, it was
so we are looking forward to publish it to our audience in Germany, and let's see that it's changed lives.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for all this information. It's really a great benefit for us and for our German audience.
Thank you.
And what are your plans for the future? What's your next project, or what you intend to do as the next thing?
A lot of people have requested a Heal number 2.
Okay.
How do you say it in German?
Heal, it's the same name. Heal.
Okay.
It's the same. It's Heal.
Okay, Heal 2. Or perhaps, it could become a television show. TV is very big here in the States, and I think there's so much to explore with Heal. And so many, I think that in order to strengthen people's belief that so much is possible, they need to see more examples. of miraculous transformation, or people healing from stage 4 cancer, or autoimmune illnesses going away for good because of lifestyle changes they made and emotional changes they made. So I would love to do this ongoing, where we show people examples of success so they can strengthen their belief that it's possible for them too, and then also shine a light on all the different healing modalities and doctors doing amazing integrative things around the world, because there's just so many cool healing modalities and so many brilliant doctors that are, you know, breaking out of just conventional medicine and really taking into account a holistic approach.
Wow.
So.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and
So nice to see you.
for answering our questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My
See you in
pleasure.
the future.
See you in the future.